Yes! No!
Checkmate. Hello, and welcome back to the Free Game Podcast. My name is Holden, and I'm with two very special people.
I'd say three guests.
Oh, because of
Mifa.
Yeah, because of Mifa.
Mifa doesn't make it onto a lot of episodes, but she's around.
She's around for sure.
Neither of us said she's here.
Yeah.
She's here, but
yeah,
not really. I'm gonna stop bouncing my phone off the table.
The other two would be Justin.
Hello.
The co-host to my own
All
nature of being a co-host.
Yep.
And then the other guest, someone very important to me, it's my wife.
Hello.
Hello and welcome. She's a little nervous, but she's gonna do just fine, aren't you, Sarah?
I'm gonna be fine.
Her name is Sarah. Welcome her, everybody. Say welcome, Sarah.
Welcome, Sarah.
Welcome, Sarah.
Okay, great. So now that we have that out of the way,
it's a big day today.
It's a huge day, dude.
We are reviewing a big game.
Yeah.
It's called Breath of the Wild.
Well, it's not. It's called The Legend of Zelda.
The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. See, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Because I've actually never played this game.
Correct.
This will be the first game that I review with you that I've never played.
Yeah, less of a review, more of just, we're talking about it.
You guys are going to teach me about
We're going to talk to you about how much you've been missing out on and why you're going to play it.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys have played the game?
Yeah.
A ton.
A ton.
A ton. Right. Yeah. And Justin is going to give us a bit of an intro to this game.
Yeah.
And then we're going to kind of, reel it in a little bit, talk to Sarah about the sort of games she's played, what she likes in video games. But why don't you just lead us up? So what are you about to do right now?
Long ago, when we were like, hey, we should do a Breath of the Wild episode with Sarah.
A couple months ago.
We were like, should I play it? But then we had the idea, I won't know anything about the game, go into it blind.
Yeah.
I'll learn everything here live. Not only that, but I'll write the intro to it and just BS my way through.
Yeah. Not having known anything about it.
Not even trying to have correct information in here.
Yeah.
Because you and I talk about games, and you've mentioned things about Breath of the Wild that I could have slipped in here if I wanted to sound like I guessed correctly or that I'm smart, but I didn't want to do that. That's not fun for anyone.
Yeah.
So, Breath of the Wild, you ready?
Are you ready, Sarah?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go.
Many Zelda fans were excited at the announcement of the 2019 Nintendo game Breath of the Wild. Initial reception was good, almost too good. Arguments broke out as some players immediately claimed it was the best Zelda game to date. But soon enough, these arguments became harder and harder to win on the contrary. This game has proved that it can withstand the test of time, as it has only grown in popularity since its release. An open-world exploration-based RPG, in Breath of the Wild you'll find yourself helping out strangers and folk of any and all types as you mature from a young boy to a man of the people to an outright hero. This game involves trying out new weapons you've earned, breaking vases, and walking through serene landscapes, only being interrupted by, for example, the cooldown reset jingle of certain skills, followed by a voice telling you of what the jingle already made clear. Like, imagine a soft little piano riff, and then a voice saying something like, Mifa's grace is now ready.
Okay, hold on.
Do you remember where you talked about that?
Yes.
Yeah. Also, speaking of the soundscape,
Uh-huh.
do you remember God's winter wind chimes at work?
No.
The irises.
Oh, yeah.
The dead irises that made the noise.
Yeah, I remember that.
You recorded those because it reminded you of a sound from Breath of the Wild, I think.
Yeah, it does.
I just wanted to remind you of that.
Yeah, I wonder if we could put that up on the Instagram or something.
Yeah, I mean, if it was a video, that'd be
it's
cool.
a video.
All right. Anyway, if you feel up for the test, you can eventually go toe-to-toe with Ganondorf to save Princess Zelda herself, and the long-awaited marriage and union of Link and Zelda can finally take place. I knew that's a little controversial. All right. We got plenty more, so.
Yeah, this is golden.
Oh, wow.
Within this endless game, you'll find yourself drawn to and uniting with all sorts of factions that each have their own agenda. One example of this is the Dark Brotherhood, a cult whose method of worshipping one of the gods of chaos can at times require you to access Link's dark side, turning the character into a thief and murderer, all in a theoretical effort to save Triforce Kingdom. A fancy heads-up display... No, sorry. A fancy heads-up display will aid you in your adventure, guiding you to caves worthy of spelunking and mountains worthy of traversing. Limitless expanses of this open world will have you trudging through harsh blizzards, slithering through the desert sands, hacking your way deep into the jungle, and diving into the void of the sea to subjugate the fish folk therein to slavery. All in all... Sorry. All in all, there's no telling what kind of goblin slaughtering, village pillaging, army building, card collecting, revolution igniting, chariot chasing, interior design adventures await. Oh, the places you'll go.
Okay.
Lot to unpack here.
A lot to unpack, but also scarily accurate.
Okay,
No
I was
way,
gonna
really?
say.
Yes.
I think the first good half was not entirely far off.
Mhm.
Yeah. It really wasn't.
The-
That was
like-
that was impressive.
This game didn't come out in 2019, right?
No, it came
No.
out in 2017.
Okay.
But like there was a couple times when you would start saying something like you're like meet this clan, like this dark clan of people. And we're like, how does he know about?
Oh.
And then you say who?
Yeah,
like,
no, I took
turns
the
Link into
Dark
a dark-
Brotherhood is from Skyrim.
Oh, you're
Mm.
right. The Assassin Dark Brotherhood
Yeah.
group. So wow.
This
dude.
would be interesting as its own game, though.
Yeah, that sounds like a really cool
Yeah?
game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even like interior design and stuff.
there is interior
Yeah.
design
Oh,
in
great, dude.
Zelda.
There is.
Yeah,
in Breath
to
of the
an
Wild.
extent,
Um,
yes.
I'm pretty
You don't marry Princess Zelda.
You don't.
That will never happen.
No.
No, it's just
I don't
wrong.
think that
That's
has
wrong.
ever happened
Brother
Yeah.
and
in
sister.
any
No,
Zelda.
They're not
game.
brother and sister.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't happen. I know that much.
Yeah, it just I don't know how to describe it, but it just doesn't make sense.
And I don't think it's called Triforce Kingdom.
No, it's not.
No, it's called Hyrule.
Hyrule.
I did
Yeah.
know that, but I was like,
Eh,
Triforce Kingdom.
you're just
That's so
suspending your
stupid.
intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very used to doing that.
Wow. I'm
Hmm.
sure that anybody who has played Breath of the Wild found that very entertaining.
Yeah.
Sweet, dude.
Yeah.
I hope so.
And so now, quick segue.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really a segue. It's more of just like a diversion of what we're talking about right now to something
Mhm.
else. Sarah,
Mm,
you like games.
I do.
What kind of games do you like?
So, I'm by no means a gamer, but I like video games.
Yeah.
So, I don't really know how to even describe what kinds of games I like. I just like random games that
So,
I come across.
Tell us games that you like.
Yeah, I mean, Breath of the Wild, for one.
Could you just give us like an hour of content of just like what is Breath of the Wild? No, I'm
And-
just kidding. No, we're gonna do that. That's what this podcast is right now.
Do you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a game you've spent more time on than Breath of the Wild?
I doubt it.
I mean, I've spent a lot of time on Breath of the Wild, and
Mhm.
I don't know how to like quantify the hours that I've spent on Mario Kart 8.
Okay.
But if that might be
Be
a
a
close
contender.
second.
Uh-huh.
Yes, that might be a contender.
So you're
Yeah.
kind of a Game Boy.
You're a bit of a Game Boy.
I guess. I
Game
am.
Boy is just what we call Nintendo fans.
This is a Nintendo household.
It is a Nintendo household.
That's
for
cool.
sure.
I have to credit my brothers in that because my brothers
Okay.
grew up Nintendo and Nintendo only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So I picked up a lot of that from my brothers, and I grew to love a lot of games from my brothers. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I am a Game Boy as in a Nintendo fan,
Mm-hmm.
simply because I was too intimidated by non-Nintendo games. Nintendo games were
Interesting.
cute and inviting enough that I felt like, oh, I can
Yeah.
tackle this. But
It's
like
kinda
Call of Duty
weird.
was just horrifying.
Yeah, well, it's kind of weird that I'm not a Game Boy actually because my first consoles were a GameCube and then a DS.
Hmm.
But then we got a little PlayStation 2 and then we got an Xbox.
See, I've wanted to dive into those
Mm-hmm.
consoles, but like I didn't actually get interested in like that side of gaming until I was older. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't make money to buy myself
Yeah.
like those consoles, and then
And even now, like we make money to buy those consoles, and that's like the last thing I want
Yeah,
to do. Spend like $300 on a new
Yeah.
console.
It's
way
it's
more
like-
than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of missed the point in my childhood in which I could have gotten totally invested in like PlayStation. I'm still very intrigued by it though.
Yeah.
So
So I have a Switch, and you have a Switch as well, Sarah.
I do
There's
have
2
a
Switches
Switch.
in this household, which might seem weird, but
It's not.
she got her Switch before we got married,
yeah,
and
I don't think we could share a Switch.
no, we just play it too much.
See? No, weird.
But
There you go.
we have an Xbox,
Mhm.
and it's an Xbox One,
Literally just our TV.
and that's just like our DVR.
Oh, right.
That's what we
yeah,
used to
yeah.
watch
All that.
everything.
Yeah.
But that Xbox One I didn't even buy. My brother saw that the Xbox One S was coming out,
Okay.
which is like the smaller
Yeah,
one.
we have one of those actually.
Yeah, you do. And so he and Mifa is eating food. So if you can hear that, that's Mifa
That's
saying
awesome.
hello.
That's the loudest she'll be.
Yeah,
And
tonight.
Valjean
Probably.
would be just.
Yeah. But that my brother bought an Xbox One S because he was like, oh, it's got more storage, it's smaller, easier to just deal with and everything. And he saw that there was a new Monster Hunter game coming out, Monster Hunter World, and so he gave me his old Xbox and bought me Monster Hunter World and was like, we're playing this game together.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that is my generation.
That's how
I
you
think
got
we're in
that.
Gen 7 now. That's my Generation 7 gaming platform. And I don't know what's going to happen when they're like, hey, the Xbox One is no longer able to do anything. I don't think I'm going to buy a new one.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough decision for
Yeah.
like Microsoft to make because that's going to put a lot of people out.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be destitute after that.
Most of the games that I've played have been on the Switch or the Wii or the Wii U.
Wii U.
I think those are the 3 consoles that I spent my most gaming on.
What are the other ones that you spend a lot of time on?
Okay, so I think one of the pinnacle games of my childhood was I don't know if it's Super Mario World, Super Mario Land, Super Mario Bros. 3. Yoshi's Island is the one.
Okay.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
what's the series? What's that series?
I don't
Hold
know.
on,
I know that it's
hold
Super
on.
Mario. I think it's Super Mario Land
Land 3
Yoshi's Island
on the Game Boy.
Advance.
Yeah, Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that game.
Wait, it's on the Game Boy Advance and on the SNES.
I didn't play it on the SNES.
Okay, so
I
it's
played it on the Game Boy. I think that was my first console ever as a little girl.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I revisited that game on the Wii U.
For the save states.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty epic. But so Yoshi's Island is a big one. Mario Kart, I spent like an entire summer, so many hours on Mario Kart. And then I guess other ones, Stardew Valley.
Yeah, you played a lot of Stardew Valley
Really
in high
love
school.
Stardew Valley.
That's a great game.
Oh my gosh, the escapism is top notch.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to try it.
It's a good game.
Oh, it's
dude.
good.
Yeah.
What other games have I played, Holden?
Oh, jeez. The Disney Princess game for your Game Boy Advance.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That
I
was
was
a good
going to
one.
ask about that one.
Yeah, because I actually
Um,
told Justin about that one recently.
I really liked The Binding of Isaac for a while.
Yeah.
I really got into that one.
That's a good game.
What
It's
did
a
you play
roguelike.
that on?
I think I played that on my DS first.
Your 2DS XL.
my 2DS XL.
Okay. So your
Um,
DS.
Yeah,
yes.
it's a 2DS XL. It's completely different.
Well, I really like it. So.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm saying it's a good thing. It's just not a DS.
So like I don't know what correlation to make in between all those different games. Like I've never been
Yeah,
able to pinpoint what kinds of games I like.
It's even hard for me because like I'm kind of slogging through Super Metroid right now.
Okay.
And I'm playing it and I'm like, I don't know if Sarah would like this game. I
Mhm.
just can't tell.
I-
Because it's got like huge exploration. It's very large, but it's also like hard. But she likes some hard games. It doesn't like other hard games. So
Yeah.
yeah. But Breath of the Wild, I think, just has like the perfect level of escapism. It's action packed.
Mhm.
It's like it's so hands-on. It has a nice like easy going emotional storyline that's easy enough to
Yeah.
just cling on to.
Yeah. I think one of the reasons why I love Breath of the Wild so much and why I came to love it so much as a teenager, I played this game when I was like 10. It was an MMORPG online.
Oh.
It was called Free Realms. I don't know if you've ever heard of that game. Okay. I loved that game so much. Free Realms. And it was just this, like, you customize your character and you go into this, like, fairy tale world. Mm-hmm. And you just go out and you explore and you talk to people. And there's, like, lots of different...
We're going to have to review this game.
Yeah.
It's actually... Okay, sadly, it went, like, they took it offline in, like, 2011
but hasn't there been, like, a
2012.
small development team, like,
there
trying to get
has,
it back
yeah.
up?
I've actually kind of kept up with them for, like, the past few years, but I don't know if they've actually put anything out yet. So if anybody's listening and has played Free Realms, I loved that game.
Yeah.
You've got 3 players right here.
So...
At least temporarily.
What do you mean?
Of the free, like, if anyone is, like, oh, no one would play it if we brought Free Realms back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, my gosh, I would play that so hard.
Yeah, I think that Free Realms was kind of like your, what the heck is it called? You still play
RuneScape.
it? RuneScape.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know if they're
MMORPG.
similar in any way.
I got no idea. Probably, honestly.
It's just, it was such a simple, wholesome game.
Yeah.
And, like, when Breath of the Wild came out, like, being a non-gamer and coming across a game like Breath of the Wild just scratched that nostalgia of, like, going into an open world and exploring everything you could possibly explore.
I'm so excited.
Dude,
to play this game.
you have
Oh
no
my
idea what you're in for. So, do you think that it's time that we just delve into it?
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, we have a bit of an outline here.
Yeah.
That I would just, honor system, just don't peek over here.
I'm not peeking, dude. I can't read.
All right, sorry. I'm just a bit thirsty right now.
Oh, do you have don't use your teeth.
Well, I actually have to.
Animal.
Yeah, I actually do have a drink
What
here.
is that? That looks like it's kind of yellow
Oh,
and white.
that is good. It's a lemon cocoa.
Ooh.
I don't know if anybody listening to the podcast right now has had the chance to be blessed by the amazing taste of lemon cocoa. But gosh dang, dude, this stuff is amazing.
It's pretty good. I've had one. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're good. Sarah, would you like to try it?
I'll try it.
Yeah, you should try it.
Yeah.
I hope you don't get a chunk. There's chunks in there.
Oh, really?
Just go ahead and drink it.
Pulpy?
Don't worry about it's not pulpy. Sarah loves pulpy drinks though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
I do.
Orange juice.
Yeah, she doesn't like it. She doesn't like coconut.
And I don't like lemonade.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's.
We forgot to mention
whammy.
that this is coconut lemonade.
Yeah, it's
So,
got lemon and cocoa.
Oh, what, are you drinking something?
Oh
right
yeah,
now?
sorry, I'm just going with good old blue can of Pepsi.
Ah.
Do you like Pepsi, Sarah?
I do like Pepsi.
She's more of a Coke gal.
I am, but I used to be a diehard Pepsi fan as a child.
Really?
I think I came to my senses though.
Okay, wow. I've never committed to one brand, but because I just inhale soda no matter what it is.
You know what's wild? So Sarah and I met at a really, really young age. Mm-hmm. We met when we were in 5th grade.
7.
We were 10.
10.
Okay,
sorry. But then a couple years later, she started coming to my school. That's how we met and everything. And I remember her telling me that she didn't like root beer. And so for some reason, I just lied and said that I didn't like root beer.
Really?
Even though I love root beer.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah. And it was one of those things where like a little later, I like said that I loved root beer, and she was like, "Oh, I thought you didn't like it," and I was like, "No, I do." And it was just like whatever, right? And it didn't matter.
I have a very vague
stick to your
memory
guns,
of that.
Because then I'd still not be able to drink root beer.
No.
No, but it'd be so
It wasn't
funny.
root beer. It wasn't root beer.
Was it Coke?
It was Coke.
Yeah, okay. Because she said that she didn't like Coke. And I was like, yeah, dude, Pepsi's way better. Just because I was trying to impress her. And like,
Of course.
Of
course.
When I knew that Pepsi is inferior to Coke.
I think it was literally just a few years ago. Like, we were probably like 18. That we went to Winco together. We went to the grocery store together, and you got a Coke. And I asked you, I thought you didn't like Coke.
Really?
And I was like, dude, I've loved
that's
Coke this whole
awesome.
time. Coke's like my favorite. I had to come clean. It was like
But
this
then
whole
you-
thing.
Tried it and changed.
Yeah, actually, that is true. I
Yeah.
thought,
Are you quenching your thirst with something, Sarah?
I am.
Oh, what are you quenching your thirst with?
clear.
It's a popular drink, I think. Lots of people know it.
Yeah.
It's my personal favorite.
Okay.
It's water.
Water.
Wow.
I
Hard
really
to
like
beat.
water.
Yeah. Hard to beat, man.
Yeah.
Good old
I think
water.
it's just really good for you, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't say the same about Pepsi or
Yeah.
Coke.
So we can all agree that my drink is superior.
Yeah.
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 That's-
I mean, you have the best drink out of all three of us.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. But who's having the most fun?
I am.
So next, so we just want to talk. So you're not supposed to look at that,
I didn't
remember,
look
Justin?
at it,
Well, you
man.
did. I just saw you. But you just did it again.
Cannot.
Nobody can see you, but like
Yeah, don't worry.
you're
I'm not
trying to
gonna
get
read
away
it.
with
I'm
it.
not,
But
man.
I'm
I'm
gonna
trying
let the
it a
people
little
at home
bit.
know what you're doing.
Just turn the computer, man.
Okay, fine. So
See, now if I look at it.
first, we want to kind of set the scene.
Mm.
Yeah,
What
hit me with the scene.
what kind of a game is Breath of the Wild?
Good question.
I want to know what picture you have in your head about Breath of the Wild right now.
Just open world Zelda game.
So
Yeah,
what does
yeah.
that? I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
This
So,
is a little biased too because you did watch the Tears of the Kingdom trailer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, but I have no idea how much of that is.
Mm.
But I also played Zelda Twilight Princess a lot.
Okay.
So I have Zelda experience a little
Okay.
bit.
have you ever played Ocarina of Time?
No,
I think I might have asked you that on the podcast before.
it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna do a little bit of research right now. Sarah, can you talk about just the open worldness of Breath of the Wild for a little bit?
Well, it's open world.
So, what else is it besides just an open world Zelda game?
So I'm coming from the standpoint I've never played another Zelda game.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm sorry to the Zelda fans out there that are hoping to listen to an experienced Zelda veteran. I am definitely
Well-
not. Breath of the Wild is the first Zelda game that I ever played. It's the first game I fell in love with. It also introduces a lot of I don't know, quests. I don't know if that's generally part of open world games.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing with open world
Like
games.
different storylines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
different
there's
storylines.
different subplots
Side
going
quests.
on, kind of side quests going on.
Say.
Yeah, sub storylines.
One of the coolest parts about Breath of the Wild that I just want to mention really fast about the map and everything
Mhm.
is that there's no loading zones
Oh, really?
at all.
I don't even know what those are.
What?
Yeah, so
Not all?
at
Not even
all.
when you go into a cave and it.
So there's no caves.
No
There are
caves.
shrines that we'll talk about. Those are loading zones. But okay, just hear me out, okay? On the overworld, if you are somewhere and you look somewhere else, you can go there in one contiguous run, no loading zones.
Wow.
What is a loading zone?
Loading zone is if you're playing, I'm trying to think of a game that you might have played that has loading zones. Well, okay, if you go into a shrine, you know how the screen opens up and it's loading, and
Uh-huh.
then you go into the shrine
Uh-huh.
afterwards, and then when you go out of the shrine, it loads again. That's a loading zone. Or if you've ever watched me
Oh,
play
okay.
Old Monster Hunter games, if I'm walking from one zone into another one, there's a screen that's now loading, and then you go into the next zone.
Oh, okay. So, Breath of the Wild does have those.
For
but-
what?
Fast travel.
Oh, but fast travel, that's outside of because fast travel is
That makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah,
But,
but outside of just-
but you can walk from one fast travel point to another fast travel point with
And-
no loading.
Yeah.
At all.
For example, in Skyrim, which is a huge open world game,
Mhm.
every cave you go into, it's this vague doorway, and you walk through it, and then it goes into a loading screen forever. The loading screens take
Oh.
forever in Skyrim,
Yeah.
and then you're in the cave.
Yeah.
And to exit, you go through it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's none of that except for the shrines
yeah.
in Breath of the Wild.
Except for the
shrines-
shrines, and except for
Fast travel.
fast travel.
I think that's pretty much it.
That's crazy.
And maybe when you go into the four divine beasts. But
yeah,
I mean,
very.
Even if you get on the boat.
what boat? Yeah,
don't know.
you don't know. There's no boat. There's
I
rafts.
kind of was okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
As
There
long
are
as there's
rafts.
some flotation.
Yeah.
I never use the rafts.
What do you do?
I'll use
Cryonis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, I actually interrupted you. What were you saying? You don't
I was
remember?
saying something.
Okay, never mind. So, Breath of the Wild is an open world. I wouldn't consider it an RPG,
Okay.
but I kind of might. It's definitely not. It's hard. Bless you, Sarah. It's definitely not like a JRPG where it's like you're gaining levels, and with those levels you have more defense points and stuff like that, right? The progression is very natural, right? So much like any Monster Hunter veterans that are listening, where you defeat a monster, get parts, and then the gear that you get directly makes you better. It's kind of like that in Breath of the Wild too, to where if you see an enemy with a dope weapon, if you kill it, you get the weapon.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right?
So, and then when you get those weapons, or you get, like, and you search for, like, armor and stuff, like, you find armor in, like, treasure chests and all that, you do have upgrade abilities too.
Yeah, you can upgrade your weapons.
But in a very special way.
Yeah, so we'll talk about all that later. But the next question that I wanted to ask you, when it comes to, like, Breath of the Wild is huge. It's huge, dude. It's absolutely insane. Anybody that's listening to this that hasn't played
ginormous.
The first area that you start on is called the Great Plateau. Okay? That area is the size of the whole world of Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
It's 14 times bigger than Twilight Princess. I just looked it up. Okay?
All right.
And it's dense. Like, dense, dude. So if you're walking down a trail, and this is something that I mentioned later, if you're walking down a trail and you see a little bosque, like a little group of trees, and you're like, is there something in there? There's probably something there.
Yes.
Like, there's something everywhere. It's not like,
it's really
it's
awesome.
not like, I don't know, like in Twilight Princess, I remember seeing my brother like run across Hyrule Field, and it's just nothing. You're just running from one place to another place.
On a horse, yeah.
In this game, it's like most of the time is just getting distracted by other things.
Yes, I'm definitely the kind of player that loves to explore.
You're a gamer girl that loves to take her time.
I love to take my time.
Too.
You're a gamer girl that loves to take her time?
My precious methodical time, and I don't care who's watching.
How long have you been playing this most recent run of Breath of the Wild?
How long?
Yeah.
Like, when did I start? Restart it? Probably. What made me restart it?
We were talking about doing this podcast episode. So it was probably like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And you are just reaching Zora's Domain, right?
Yes.
So anybody
I haven't gotten there yet.
Anybody who has played this game is like, wow.
Okay. Because that means she's taking her time.
She's taking so much time.
Because I only have about that much time until Tears of the Kingdom comes out. So.
Yeah,
so how do you like to play games? Do you like to take your time, or do you go kind of fast?
It depends. I relate this a lot to Skyrim because that's the only other like open world kind of. I did a good mix of storyline, even though I kind of ignored the main storyline a lot, but like side quests with other like factions, that's a big deal in Skyrim. And I didn't really, once in a while I'd go exploring, but not that often. But I do consider myself kind of a completionist in that I'll try to like gradually find my way through the entire game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before
that
I
makes
just
sense.
rush to the finish line.
So
I'm that way too.
Something that I'll say that's different from...
It annoys Holden.
It doesn't... Okay.
It does.
It does. A little bit. But it's not so much that I'm like, Sarah, I'm so annoyed. It's not like that. It's more like, I'm like, you're still in Hiteno Village? What are you even doing there? You talk to the guy and then you leave.
I think,
you know?
a couple nights ago, actually, I told Holden, we were supposed to go to bed. And I told him, I just need to get to the shrine. The shrine was very much in line of sight.
Okay.
Right there. Very close.
Took her like an hour to get there, dude.
It took me probably like 30 minutes because here's how I play this game, okay? So like in the map, there's like obvious like pathways. Like this is where you walk to get to this place. And then there's like little posts with little signs like Hiteno Village this way and Fort Hiteno this way, right? So that's generally, okay, the player's gonna go through here and they're gonna come across these people and they're gonna come across here, but there's so much to this game that I follow the general path, but like I take it like I start on the path and I go like zigzag across everything because there's just so much to
There's so
find.
much density. And we'll talk about all the fun things
Can we
you
just
can
call
find.
it now and I can start playing?
Oh, dude. I know, I'm
And
sorry.
it takes so long, but it's so satisfying.
So Here's the thing, okay? Is that your motivation to play the game is not like, Nick, you need to save the world. Like, my motivation when I'm playing this game is like, I have this world to conquer. Like, I'm looking out there and I can just go anywhere. Like, it's like the fact that it exists is motivation enough, right?
And Impa will trick you and try to tell you, go, Link, hurry!
Yeah.
Save Hyrule!
Yeah.
You don't need to hurry.
No, you're fine.
Don't
There's
ever
no
trust
pressing.
Impa.
Yeah, no pressing
Don't
timelines.
trust Impa.
My brother's dog's name is Impa.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Impa and
so we have Impa and Mifa. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Oh, that's
yeah.
cool.
So something that I wanted to mention earlier, when it comes to Skyrim side quests,
Mhm.
they're a little different than Breath of the Wild side quests.
Hope so.
A side quest in Skyrim could take like 30 hours. Like there are some really, really long drawn, talking to multiple different people, building character arcs. It's not that deep in Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
Breath of the Wild is like, I lost my sword. Can you find it? It's like, okay, I'll go find it and then give it back to you. And he's like, thank you. By the way, here's where the shrine is. And then you go and you find the shrine. Right? We'll talk about shrines too. You're gonna have your mind blown. But so yeah, when it comes to side quests, like and also in Skyrim, sometimes if you pick one side quest, it changes like the entirety of your game after that.
Yeah.
It's not like that in
Okay.
Breath of the Wild. Skyrim is a lot more of like a story-driven game. Breath of the Wild is more of an adventure-driven game.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I'll say. And it makes sense because the main, like, the super important thing about Skyrim is, or I actually don't, I haven't played it all that much, but what was like special to me was like, wow, all these people have like their own lives and I get to talk to them and be a part of clans and all this stuff. The people in Breath of the Wild are kind of like the backdrop to just the scenery.
Okay.
Right? So this game gives you so much freedom. It's crazy. And it doesn't hold your hand through practically anything other than a couple like certain points where you're like actually following like the main quest line.
Oh.
Sometimes it's like, we got to do this thing, Goro. And people understand what that is if you've played Breath of the Wild. But I have a couple things written down here that is so just like, yeah. Okay, so you can interact with everything in this game.
Okay.
Okay? If there's a tree, you can cut it down.
Sweet.
If you want to light it on fire, you can.
Awesome.
If there's a rock, you can probably pick it up.
Yeah. If
Wow.
there's a mountain, you can climb it.
Okay.
Every single surface is climbable.
Okay.
There are no limits
Good to know.
to what you can climb in this game.
There are some limits.
What?
Can't climb shrines.
Oh, that's true. You
I know
can't climb on
because
top
I
of
tried
shrines.
the other
yeah,
night.
Yeah, yeah.
Shrines seem like they're an exception to a lot of things.
They are. Go on.
You can't climb like certain boxes, like metal boxes.
Oh, yeah.
If they're too tall, you can't climb them, and that's intentional.
Yeah.
Because they want you to solve whatever puzzle you're solving in a different way.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, that's true. Let me say everything in the scene, like everything natural, is climbable.
So I could cut down every tree in the game if I want.
Yeah, but I think that when the blood moon happens, it'll respawn them all. I think that's how that works.
probably.
Yeah.
There are also some trees that are too big to cut down.
What, like
Not
the
for
Deku
me.
tree?
No. Like
Oh, like the ones in Pharaon
Like-
and stuff?
the thick
Yeah,
ones.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
thick
You're
ones
right,
that you
you're
find
right.
bird eggs on top
Okay,
of.
okay, you're right.
gonna
That's
try.
true. Yeah, you'll
You
try.
can go
You'll
ahead and
your best.
try, yes.
I'll
If
let
you
you know.
if you want it, you can take it.
Wow.
There's mushrooms everywhere. There's eggs.
Houses?
There's herbs. You get a house at some point.
Can I take houses?
You can take one.
Okay.
This isn't name it and claim it, but like
All right,
there's so many things to pick up,
Okay.
and they all help you on your journey.
Foraging is one of my favorite things.
It's actually
in this game.
I love
fun.
foraging.
There's also hunting in this game.
Oh.
So there's deer and wild boar,
Boar.
and there are like these big like almost rhinoceros looking things
Really?
in the Arctic wastelands that you can
Arctic
take down.
wasteland.
Yeah,
Oh
dude.
my gosh.
There's so much to this game.
You're not allowed to kill the foxes though.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
Can I
every
befriend them?
animal. No, but every animal in the game is fair game except for foxes. You can't kill the
Because
foxes.
that's just not cool.
It's
That
not
makes
fun.
sense. Yeah.
You can kill any bird.
I'm gonna kill
They
him.
have blue herons in the game.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude.
I love
And they're
me a blue
majestic. I
heron.
know you do. And there are horses that you can ride,
Not a big horse guy.
but you
But
can
that's cool.
get your own horse
Okay.
and take
Yeah.
it to a stable and name it.
And okay.
It's your own horse.
And
you-
and it's like they're very useful, but I actually like, especially in the second time going through the game, I'm realizing, because like my first time playing through the game, the horse was like big, like especially in the start game, it was like, get a horse, like, because
Yeah.
that's really cool. You
It's
get your
really
own
pushing
horse.
you to get a horse.
It pushes you to get a horse because I mean, like,
But then
I
you
get
gotta
it.
feed it.
No, you don't.
It's cool and it gets you places, but I'm realizing, especially in this run, that like I don't even want a horse because I just want to.
Yeah, that's
Take
something
You
that
don't want to get
everything
on
in.
and off the horse over and over.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it
Exactly.
is. And then
So-
by the time that you're going on this trail and you're like, is there a Korok over there? And then you walk over there and you find it, and then you're like,
Korok.
what is that over there in the distance? And then you're like, oh crap, where's my horse? All the way over there, and I need to go get my horse. It's
Yeah,
like a big
exactly.
deal.
Yeah.
So I would recommend you get a horse, but you don't need to stress out too much about
So
it.
did you say you can name the horse?
Mhm.
Yeah.
What percentage of people who play this game have a horse named Shadowfax?
I don't know, but I know that it's smaller than the amount of people that have a horse named Epona.
Mm.
Okay.
Next. The next thing that I wrote down is things just make sense.
Okay.
Okay? This is before we talk about any of like the actual like this is like a preface. Okay? So,
Okay.
but it's important, okay?
Oh yeah,
so
yeah, of course.
fire weapons
Right.
give off heat. So if
Smart.
you're in the snow and Link's like shivering and cold, you can equip a fire weapon and it keeps you warm.
That's helpful.
You know what I'm saying? Rocks fall. So if there's a boulder on a cliff and you see a bunch of bad guys below it, you can push the boulder off and smush them. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
Fire creates an updraft that you can be raised up by
Wow.
with your paraglider, which
So
you'll figure out what that is.
Okay.
Wood burns. So if you chop up a tree and you light the wood on fire with a piece of flint and hitting it with a metal weapon, it makes a fire. You can sit by the fire and wait for a while and go, oh, I want to wait till it's morning. I'll
Have
just
some-
sit by the fire and
Have some roasted squirrel or something.
yeah, dude.
Exploring in the nighttime in this game is a very different experience than exploring in the daytime.
You're right.
Especially for somebody like me that is not a very combat heavy player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't play this game for the combat.
Uh-huh.
The
Yeah.
combat is fun
Yeah.
and it's doable, but it's definitely not my favorite part. So I oftentimes find myself sitting by the campfire until morning because I don't want to.
I have to deal with the baddies that come out
like
at night.
Minecraft.
Yeah, it's kind of like Minecraft,
So
but
you like exploring the most.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
That's my absolute favorite part of this game, like hands down.
my brother loves the combat of this
Mhm.
game. He would go to this thing that we called the Coliseum,
Mm-hmm.
which is a Coliseum basically. And I don't know if you knew this, but he would go down to the very bottom where the golden or like the silver Lionel is, take off all of his armor, and fight it.
No.
Yeah. And I did it once, and it's really, really fun.
No.
So we're gonna tell you about every enemy in the game later on, except for Lionel's, because
Okay.
I want you to be surprised by it.
Thanks.
Another thing that I should mention really, really fast. If you're listening to this and you're a huge Breath of the Wild fan, and you're like, they're missing out on this detail, it's intentional because we want you to figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Again, I wrote down, if you think something is there, it is.
Okay.
Just that's your hint. Okay. Also, things aren't given to you
Mm-hmm.
in this game. You find them.
Okay.
Pretty much everything.
All right.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah, I think like that's definitely a huge like just like the beauty of this game is like it's an adventure game with quests with
Mhm.
like an obvious objective, but there is in no way does it tell you like this is where you're supposed to go and this is how you're supposed to get there.
Okay.
There are so many different ways that you can go about
Yeah.
like doing one thing, and it's awesome because then
Yeah.
you get to I feel like you get to like establish yourself as a unique player in that way.
Yeah.
Like, this is how I played the game.
Yeah.
And
like,
oh, actually, I did it this way.
yeah,
you
like
know?
like when talking amongst a group of Breath of the Wild players, I might say something like, yeah, first I went to Zora's Domain. And they're like, you went to Zora's Domain first? I went to Gerudo Desert first. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's
And you
interesting.
accomplish the same goal
Yeah.
in like a million different ways.
Yeah. Another thing about the game that's so satisfying is that every environment that you're in, there's something there that's leading you to want to stay there.
Uh-huh.
I hope that makes sense. So like if you're in the Gerudo Highlands, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's all snowy and it kind of looks like, I don't know, like imagine Zion National Park with like a foot of snow.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like red rock, but all like snowy and
Wow.
it's very, very pretty. And you're there and you're looking below you and there's Gerudo Desert.
Mhm.
You're like, oh, I want to go there. I don't even know what's up there, but I want to go there. And then you go there and then it's like, yeah, there's a thing there. And you're like, oh, cool.
Wow.
That's great.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, oh, I guess I just came here for nothing.
There's no like wasteland that you're like, why am I even here?
Yeah,
no,
no.
it's there for a reason.
Yeah,
Wow.
everything is there for a reason. And like for some reason there's like a big giant robot bird flying around and you're like,
Mhm.
I don't know what that is.
Mhm.
Do I go towards it? And then you get closer and closer. You're like, is it going to shoot me? I don't know what's going on.
Uh-huh.
You get closer and closer. You're like, oh, there's a nice little bird village here. I guess that was enticing me to something
Wow.
good, you know?
Yeah.
So everything is there. And like, there's a giant volcano. You're like, I want to go there. So then you go there. And then there's a bunch of rock people. And you're like, cool, I guess I'm meeting these new people and I'm learning all these new things about this world. And on the way, you go to Hateno, or you go to like the ancient tech labs and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just brilliant. It's all so brilliant.
Yeah.
The next thing that I want, that's like the freedom element of it.
Hyrule
you know?
Castle is also such, like, at the beginning of this game, it's such an enigma.
It's the center point.
I feel like they do such a good job at like building the mystery around it though,
Mhm.
because like when you start off, you can see it in the distance, and you know, I'm supposed to go there.
And I really don't
I
want to.
really don't want to go there though.
Really?
And
Dude.
You just don't feel ready yet or something.
So
Oh.
it's surrounded, it's crawling with baddies. Okay?
Ah.
It's surrounded by these things called guardians, which we'll talk about later.
Oh my gosh.
And they're horrifying, dude.
Okay.
Guardians are horrifying. And so it's crawling with these things. And then you're getting closer and closer to it. And there's guardians all over the place. And it's like Hyrule Castle, from what you know of Hyrule Castle, it's beautiful. White pillars.
Right.
Just it's covered in red goop. And there's a giant pig flying around it. I don't know how else to describe it.
Okay.
Think of it more menacing than just a giant pig. like
boar.
a boar, but like
Yes.
a giant boar made out of red goop.
Okay.
And
And his
There's
name is Calamity Ganon.
Red, like swirlies going
Yeah.
all around it. And I
Oh,
remember
wow.
my first time playing through this game, I was like terrified to go anywhere near there. And I think like probably like halfway through my entire gameplay, I finally mustered up the courage and I was like, I'm just gonna go.
Yeah.
Like I'm not ready.
And then you
I don't
did
have the
it.
equipment. I
Yeah.
don't have the armor. I'm just gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And I remember like finding the highest point that I could find,
Fly into.
paragliding into it because I was like, ain't no
Oh,
way. I'm just
wow.
walking up
Oh
there.
yeah, by the way, you can do that.
Yeah, and the fact that that's just like the most like bold attack strategy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So from
exactly.
above,
That's
Yeah.
actually my favorite form of combat too, is bow and arrow far
from the
away.
paraglider.
That kind of tells you why I'm not a combat person, because I don't like
Yeah.
that sort of confrontation. But I remember just flying in there and then just everything changes. Like
Yeah.
the atmosphere changes, the music changes, and I think I lasted maybe 5 minutes and I was like, I'm out of here. I'm
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
I'm going back to where I
It's
was at.
scary,
But
dude.
you live to tell the tale.
Yeah.
did.
So
I did.
so you start out the game, you exit this thing called the Shrine of Resurrection. We won't talk about it. You see an amazing view of the world, and then you talk to this old guy, and he's like, ho ho, and he's like telling you a bunch of
Of
stuff.
course.
And by the end of it, you get a good lay of the land.
Okay.
Right? You're picking up weapons. You get some armor. Okay? Weapons range. There's a couple different kinds of weapons. Okay? So there's two-handed weapons,
Mhm.
one-handed weapons, and spears.
Okay.
Okay? They'll have different levels of attack to them, but every weapon in the game, except for the Master Sword, breaks.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter how good your weapon is, it's going to break at some point.
Wow.
Faster than you think.
Okay.
So you constantly just have this array of weapons in your inventory that you're just cycling through the entire game. And I would recommend you and anybody listening to this that is going to get Breath of the Wild and play it, especially setting up for Tears of the Kingdom, don't hold on to weapons. Just use them. Because you're going to, like, it's like, I don't know, you're going to be rewarded with more weapons. There's so many weapons in this game, and if you just waste your time using tree branches the whole time, it's just not going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my weapon strategy has always been like pick up whatever weapons are around me, and then I always use the one that deals the least amount of damage first until that breaks.
Yeah.
And then use the one with the.
Unless I see like some blue bokoblins and I'm like, ooh, geez, I need something. I need some beefier.
Yeah.
Then there's armor. Armor gives you defense, obviously, but it also gives you like abilities.
Okay.
So there's like a climbing set that makes you climb faster. There's a Zora set that makes you swim faster. There's so many armor sets that I kind of just want to let you do that.
Awesome.
Then
you find them all on your own.
Yeah.
None of them are
given. Well, one of them.
Yes.
Yeah, one of them is given to you. Yeah, which is why our cat is named Mifa. But there's also these things called Great Fairy Fountains that you find throughout the map. Okay. Great.
Yep.
There's 4 of them. And that's where you upgrade weapons and armor using materials that you get along your way.
Okay.
Which is really fun. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about it. Because that is something that you need to just experience on your own.
Your weapon's still going to break.
Yeah. Yeah, so you don't upgrade weapons. Did I say weapons and armor? You upgrade only your armor.
Yeah,
armor never breaks.
Armor.
All right.
Okay? Sorry. Next. Okay? This is going to be kind of... It's kind of the reason... I think it's the reason why the game is so good. Okay.
Politics.
Sure, there's a huge there's a huge world, but when we say there's always something there, it's almost always one of 2 things. That's shrines and Koroks.
Okay.
Okay. These are, I think, the reason why this game blew everyone's mind. Okay.
The Koroks?
The Koroks and the shrines.
I mean, okay.
Okay, just hear me out. Okay.
He's got a theory.
Shrines are... First of all, we should talk about towers, right?
Oh, the towers.
Should we talk about towers first, or should we talk about that after shrines and Koroks?
What do you find in the game first?
You find a tower first. So towers are these things that just come out of the ground. These big, tall towers. Okay? And this is how you unlock your map. Okay. So the map is segmented into a bunch of different areas. Okay, most of the time just like an environmental area. So like there's a jungle, there's a desert, there's a blizzardy area. That's why it's so crazy that what you said, like this actually checks out.
Wow.
There's a bunch of these different areas. Remember in his intro when he was talking about like going through the jungle.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you actually go through a jungle. Wow. In order to unlock the map, there's this tower normally guarded by a bunch of bad guys. So you have to get past all the bad guys or solve a puzzly sort of a thing to get up to the tower. You use your Sheikah Slate, which you don't need to know about. It's fine. You use your Sheikah Slate to wave over the thing, and then it's like, booting, and it like, it does like this huge thing, right? And it reveals the map to you so that you can see where everything is, okay?
Oh, yes.
From the top of your tower, you're going to see a bunch of little orange dots. All around you. Okay? These orange dots are shrines.
Okay.
Shrines are these little node-looking things that you go into, and they're meant to test the hero's strength. Okay? So, the first 4 shrines that you open up give you special, what are they called? Runes.
Okay.
The 4 runes are Magnesis.
Right.
This makes it so that you can move any metal object in the game. You can control it any way that you want to. Okay? There's Stasis, which means that any moving or most moving objects in the game, you can freeze in time, and then if you hit them a bunch, they contain all that kinetic energy, and then once the timer goes out, they fly away. Okay?
Okay.
There's bombs. So bombs are something that you just always have.
Okay.
Okay, and they're like special technology bombs.
Uh-huh.
If you've ever played Smash, you know Link, how he has those blue bombs?
Uh-huh.
That's what that is.
Okay.
Okay? And then there's Cryonis. Cryonis, you can, any body of water in the entire game, you can make a pillar of ice that you can stand on.
Okay.
So you can just go across lakes
Okay.
with this Cryonis.
And you can also climb them. So if there's a waterfall, you can use Cryonis
on the face of the water to climb up the waterfall.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
I
It's
think
pretty great.
one of my like core memories of starting this game, like I have just the most perfect image of this, my first ever time playing through this game. Like
Okay.
it's like just the most beautiful experience in the entire world. But one of my favorite things to do starting this game was because in your Sheikah Slate, which don't need to know everything about.
It's basically just like a Switch.
Okay.
Because they kind of try and do that with a lot of Nintendo games. They kind of like try to give a character like in Pikmin, it's called the Coat Pad, and it's like the game pad for the Wii U.
Yeah.
But it just looks like a Switch.
But
basically.
it has lots of different tools on it, things to help you, and one of the things is your scope. So you click the
minus button, I think.
No, it's not the minus. No,
Oh,
the,
you just
the
click.
camera.
You click one of your analog sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get to like it kind of
Zoom
in to where you're looking at,
It's like a
and you get to
telescope.
and you can see things that are way off in the distance, and the towers before you get to them are glowing orange. And you get to use pins to kind of like just stick it on your scope, and then when you get out of the scope and you look on your map,
the pin
regardless
is
of whether you've unlocked the map or not, the pin is there, so you know, okay, I need to head that way if I want to get to whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. So you get to the top of these scopes and you see all these shrines around you, and you just start marking
Yep.
them.
And one of my, you don't have an endless amount of pins, unfortunately.
you have like
I think
6.
you only have like 5.
Rough.
And one of my favorite things to do at starting this game was putting pins on the towers and just going there.
Yeah.
And like exploring and adventuring.
Come hell or high water.
And finding so many enemies and so many things and like and then when you finally get to a tower, it's like, oh my god, I made it.
Yeah, and then you unlock that area of the map and you're like, there's so many things to go look at. It's crazy, dude.
Wow.
So the rest of the shrines in the game, there are 120 of them, just letting you know.
Okay.
You go inside them, you go downstairs, I guess.
I don't know.
Down an elevator.
elevator.
Okay. Into like this futuristic, technologically advanced room that's just a mini puzzle.
Okay.
And then once you get to the end of it,
like once you solve it.
You basically solve the puzzle.
Okay.
Most of the time, it gives you a little reward on the side, like a lance or a piece of armor or something like that.
Rupees.
Yeah, a couple rupees. Once you get to the end, there's a monk sitting there that gives you a spirit orb.
Okay.
Okay? Spirit orbs are the reason why we go to shrines. And because they're fun. I think that shrines are so fun. I love them.
Shrines are not my favorite part of this game.
Oh, I love shrines so much.
Okay.
But it's because I love puzzles.
I don't like puzzles that
Yeah,
much.
yeah. But
Alright.
they're very, very fun. I think they're very, very fun. Sarah doesn't. So we'll see how you feel about
Some of
them.
Right
them
in
are
the middle.
fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of them I felt no shame in looking up a
Are
guide.
there like combat shrines where you just have to...
Fight.
Oh, I hate
They're
those
called minor,
so much.
medium, and major tests of strength.
Ooh.
And they are hard.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So at the end, you get a spirit orb.
Mm-hmm.
If you get 4 spirit orbs, you get to upgrade either a heart or a piece of your stamina wheel.
Okay.
And your stamina wheel is kind of like how long you can sprint for, or how far you can climb, or how long you can hang on your glider, or how long you can swim for, you know? So stamina is really important, but also hearts are basically your defense.
Right.
So you kind of have to play this balancing act of like, do I want to be able to run further and do a bunch of stuff, or do I want to stay safe
Do
and
I
not
wanna
die? Because
live?
you're going to die a lot. It's not an easy game.
Maybe.
You need 4 spirit orbs. I don't remember if you said
Yeah, you need 4 spirit orbs. Okay. So that's like your main thing for shrines. And it's just so it's crazy because you'll be walking through the wilderness and you'll like see something and you're like, that doesn't look like it's in the right place. That looks weird.
Mm-hmm.
I should go check that out. And then you go check it out and it's like, oh, it's a shrine. Awesome. I just found a shrine and now I get to solve this puzzle and get a spirit orb and now I can go get more hearts. And it's just always rewarding you for exploring.
Yeah.
Always.
There are some shrines that, like you just said, you have to like do something to find the shrine. Like it's not just there. You won't travel to a place and you come across it. Like you'll have to do like help someone in some sort of way or figure out some sort of puzzle to uncover the shrine.
Yeah.
And then when you go in there, instead of it being what are they normally called? Like
they're called
trials?
Tons of different things. Yeah, trials. Most of the time it's trials. They're called blessings.
So you just walk in there and there's a little chest and you get a cool little thing and then the monk's like, here's a spirit orb for you.
So you can probably tell that Sarah's very chuffed about that. She's like, oh, you just walk in, you get a thing, and it's awesome.
I wouldn't know what chuffed means. But...
well,
I don't know what that means.
Chuffed just means like she's happy about it, right?
Okay.
I don't like blessings.
Okay.
I don't like blessing shrines because it's boring to me. It's like, yeah, sure, I did the thing before. I get it that you're basically just rewarding me for doing the puzzle outside of the shrine, but I want the puzzle. I always want the puzzle.
Every time I walk into a blessing shrine, I'm like, yes. Thank God.
But to me, I think that shrines are never outrageously difficult. It's never like, when you solve it, you're never like, oh, finally. It's always like, oh, cool, okay, and then I got it, cool. And they maybe last like
the patience for
5-10 minutes each shrine.
So
not
like,
long.
Why would I?
Why do I want to
skip that?
Yeah, exactly. Next is Koroks.
Koroks, that's what I want.
Koroks are these little dudes that have leaves on their faces, and they're hidden everywhere. There's 900 of them across the world. Okay? And every time
How many have you found, Sarah?
In my second playthrough, I probably have like maybe close
50?
to
Maybe close to 100?
like between 50 and 100, I think.
Yeah.
My first playthrough, I have like 700.
Yeah, I think that I have about 700 or 800 in my playthrough.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I was going to say, if I just make it my goal to get all 900 before...
it's not worth it.
No.
I'm going to be honest, it's not worth it. There's so many of them. I think that they're not there to be completed. They're there to be there while you play the game. Because
supplement.
Yeah, because you're walking through the world and you just see, a circle of rocks. And then there's a rock sitting nearby. And then there's one place that the circle of rocks is missing a rock.
Mm-hmm.
You pick up the rock, put it down, and then this little thing of confetti comes out, and a little guy goes, yeah! And then he gives you a Korok seed, and you're just like, awesome! And it's like every time that you do it, it's just like this childlike wonderment of just like, oh yeah, I got a Korok, cool.
The Korok seeds.
Because that's what they give you. They give you Korok seeds. Which look like little golden poops.
Okay.
I think
that they are the Koroks.
They are poops.
Oh, okay.
I think
that would only make sense.
Yeah, because you're scaring them and they're hiding from you. They're always hiding from you, and so you pick up a rock and they're there and they're like, you found me.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of
crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but these Korok seeds are used to add inventory
spaces to your inventory.
Oh.
So
that's important.
I know,
yes,
dude.
it is.
That's why it's not only just like, oh, cool, Korok. You're like, oh, nice, I get another weapon.
Yeah.
And as you're playing through the game, you go to this guy named Hestu. I'm not even going to talk about Hestu because he is so amazing.
Yeah.
But you go to Hestu, and he's like, hey, if you give me one Korok, I can upgrade your storage. And you have to choose between your bow storage, your weapon storage, and your shield storage. So you slowly start growing these, and then the next time he's like, it takes 2 Koroks to upgrade your storage. Then 5 Koroks to upgrade your storage. Then 8 Koroks to upgrade your storage. But seriously, there's 900 of them. Okay. You're going to be rolling in Korok seeds.
Just like how you're rolling in rupees.
Yeah, you get so many rupees in this game.
Wealthy, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah. But
well,
like
you think.
Okay.
But there comes a point in the game that you just can't use your rupees anymore.
Yeah. It's late. It's later
It's
on in the
very
game.
late in the game, but I think in my first playthrough, I have like almost 60,000 rupees that I have nothing to do.
You probably have 600,000 rupees.
No.
Sarah, you get a lot of rupees in this game, and you played it for a long
600,000.
time.
I think it's 60,000.
I think you have 6 million.
Oh. You know, that might be true.
So, yeah, Koroks are great, and they're so surprising, and they're so cute, dude. They're these adorable little guys, and I just love them. I love Koroks, and I love Korok seeds. They're so fun to find, and that is one of those things to where you can just smell them. Like, you're walking through, and you're like, there's a Korok. I just know that he's here. And then you walk around, and you're like, no, I guess there's no Korok. Wait. There is a Korok here, because they always leave a hint that, like, hey, there's a Korok here.
So if you come across something in the game and you question even the slightest bit, it is probably a
You're
Korok.
like, why is that one branch doing that thing?
Yeah.
Or why are
like
there
that.
like 3 trees lined up in perfect parallel lines?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And
that's
there's so many
awesome.
surprising ways. Like, Sarah didn't even know that she was going to get a Korok the other day. She was just walking on a nice mountain hill area, and there was a boulder at the top of this really, really long hill. And there was 2 trees at the end of the hill that went off onto a cliff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's these 2 trees, and she just pushes it, and she's looking around, and then it goes, bling, yeah, and she's like, oh, I didn't even know that I got a Korok. So then she took a screen recording. We went back. The boulder went between the 2 trees, and she got a Korok for it.
yeah.
That's so
There's
sweet,
so
dude.
many little things like that, and like most of the time, if you're like, I bet there's a Korok on top of that mountain. There is. If you climb to the top of Hyrule Castle, there's a Korok there.
Yep.
And it's just because it's like, on top of the fact that you climbed all the way to the top of Korok, all the way to the top of Hyrule Castle, here's a Korok for your troubles. You know?
That's awesome.
Great, dude. So now we'll talk about basically just what the game is about.
Okay.
Right? So you are the hero. Hey, guess what? You're the chosen one, right? And you are Zelda's knight.
Okay.
You were sworn to protect her. You messed up. And you actually fall in battle. So the battle's already over, technically. And it's been 100 years.
Wow.
So now you're kind of going through this like war-torn landscape. There's tons of ruins all over the place. Of like burnt down houses and...
Is old G-Dorf in charge?
He's not. He's kind of like in this weird, like, he's turning into something greater than he was. Yeah, he's weird, dude. He, like, you're gonna see him, you're gonna be like, that's Ganondorf, and yeah, it is.
Huh.
And your task is to activate and save 4 divine beasts.
Okay.
And then kill Ganon.
Okay.
Okay? So, you go to 4 different corners of the map, 4 different cultural groups, learn about the champions of each of those places.
Beat them.
You beat the Divine Beast. So the Divine Beast is like a dungeon on a giant robot animal.
Okay. I follow
And
that.
you go through the animal and you solve this puzzle, and then you fight a bad guy, and then now the robot is going to be used for good.
Okay.
And you do that 4 times, and then you beat Ganon. And that's...
It's so, like, that takes
that is like...
1%.
You could probably... You could probably do all of that in, like... I don't know. It takes a... It doesn't...
Yeah.
You know. But, like, that's so little compared to what this game has to offer.
But, like, it's little if you choose to make it little. Because of the exploration aspect, like, you can take so long. Like, I like how I'm taking so long.
Yeah.
And just, like, every divine beast is, like you said, like, attributed to a certain, like, race in the game, right?
There's fish people, bird people, tall,
Rock
dark
people.
women.
Are the fish people slaves?
No,
Okay.
they're not slaves. And they don't live underwater.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, they live above water. Sorry.
Weird.
It's fine.
That's weird.
So it's the Zora, which are the fish people, Gerudo, which are tall, dark-skinned women.
Handsome women.
Okay.
Just handsome women.
Desert women.
Desert women.
Okay.
With strange pants.
Like what's that movie called? It's a book, but it's also a movie. Been made a bunch of times recently.
Pinocchio.
You're getting close. Timothy Chalamet.
Dune.
Oh.
Dune.
Oh. I have no
sure.
idea.
I don't care.
So
I mean,
then
it's-
there's the Rito, which are bird people,
right.
and then there's the Gorons, which are
Rock
people.
Okay.
yeah, the Gorons, which are morons. They actually aren't very smart.
Well, they're made of rocks, dude.
And
Right.
Yeah,
you can
exactly.
kind of put in your mind, like, yeah, fish people might live in a place like this. And you're not going to be far off. Like,
Okay.
they are emblematic to what their races are, but
Makes
they're so
sense.
unique to one another that,
That's
like,
so
when
Yeah,
you're there,
it's
you're like,
so
I am
cool.
feeling Zora's domain. And, like, when you're there, it's, like, you just forget about everything that you just went through, and you're,
Yep.
like, engrossed into this.
Yeah.
And then the next day, you're going to be in the desert. Like, the
Yeah.
desert.
The
and you're like, this is all this
atmosphere
game is.
And
I don't know
in
anything
this
else.
game-
times you're just trying to. You're like, I'm in this culture now. This
Yeah.
is me.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
That's
And there's
so
just
cool.
again like so much to explore, so many people to talk to, so
Uh-huh.
many little things here and there to
Yeah.
do.
Oh,
Like
dude.
it just immerses you in the world. Literally, I should have been a spokesperson for this game. Because
Yeah.
You can fast travel. But,
2 shrines.
Okay.
So
only
any
shrines that
shrines
you've discovered and conquered, and
and towers.
Yeah,
And
towers
towers.
and shrines. So they're all over the place. And so if you need to get somewhere, you can get there really quickly because
Okay.
there's just shrines everywhere. There are some places where the shrines are less dense, like in the desert. There's not a lot of shrines. So you need to grab a sand seal and shield surf, but that's a whole other thing.
well, yeah,
Um,
you can't. Yeah, you can't just. So does
What
the,
was that? What was your thought there? I'm just curious.
You can't just you got to prepare when you're going to the desert.
Yeah, you're right.
So
Exactly.
does the game like, if you start playing, will it take like, I don't know, for example, 6 hours before it's dark, or is it like it follows real?
It doesn't
Oh.
follow real time.
No,
Okay.
like day-night cycles are maybe like 20 minutes.
If even no, probably
No?
like 10 minutes.
Yeah, the day-to-night cycle is really fast.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
And so but it's nice.
And it's just gameplay, right?
What do you mean?
Like 10 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah, if you're paused, it doesn't.
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
going.
yeah.
But
It's probably like 15 minutes.
yeah. The thing is that enemies don't come out at night. There's a kind of enemy that comes out at night. Well, okay, so like geese, they're
Oh,
bats.
Darkness.
They come out at night more often because they're bats, right? But like bokoblins, which are basically like the grunt of this game, like just like your everyday bokoblin, they don't become more populous during the nighttime. There are skeletons that come out of the ground, but they're so easy to run away from, you don't even need to worry about it.
But they annoy me. So
It's
I don't
not like
traveling
Minecraft
enough.
where it's like, oh, it's dark, I need to hide now.
Yeah, at
You'll
night
be
in
fine.
Minecraft, it's
No.
during the day you never, but at night is when things.
Yeah,
get
it's not like
dicey.
that. There are differences in exploration between day and night, but I think that you're going to have a very seamless experience going through it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's also worth traveling at night. I mean, like
Because the moonlight,
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
and you also find lots of different things at night.
Okay.
Like different creatures come out, and
Yeah.
things just look different. So some things glow. You're able to
Wow.
find those
There's
easier.
bioluminescence.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like it's definitely worth it. I just don't like doing it because it annoys me, and I'm dramatic about it. But
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fine.
So, okay, now this part of the episode I wanted to leave open to you asking questions to us
Okay.
and us maybe sharing some, like, just while we're talking, just sharing some anecdotes about fun experiences that we've had with the game.
Yes.
Without giving too much away. We're really, like,
Mhm.
we're giving you a bare bones explanation of this game. I'm not
Yeah.
going to lie. So,
It sounds to me like you've kind of explained the main storyline.
mm-hmm,
Seems pretty simple, but the real objective of the game is to explore the world
Yeah.
while you make
Yeah.
your way around.
That
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the reason why Tears of the Kingdom looks like it's going into a different direction, because the storyline in this game, like the main quest, is so bleak that a lot of people complain about it.
which I don't understand. Maybe because I'm not pro gamer number one here. But when I went into this game,
Uh-huh.
I completely fell in love with the storyline, so much so that it made me cry.
Yeah, multiple
Just
times.
because so many times.
You're like every night for a week.
Because I just like I don't know the wholesomeness of it, just the way that they painted the characters, like and in like tied in with the serenity of the game, just putting this nice solid storyline to follow and to fall in love with was such a huge part of the game for me.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I agree with that, but there are times when I feel like the story can be a little bland, especially with Zelda's storyline, where it's basically...
I've never played another Zelda game, so that might be why I didn't have any gripes.
Zelda's always bland, though. But what I'm saying is,
true.
like, with the grandeur nature of this game, when it came to the story, basically every time that you collect a memory, we won't talk about that because you can figure that out on your own, but every time that you collect a memory, it's like, all right, Goro, the machine is ready to go. And then you're like standing there and Link's not saying anything because he doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
And then it's like Zelda and she's like, I just don't know if I can use my powers
But
yet.
I loved
and
it,
then
though.
and then the next one is like Mifa's like, all right, I guess I'm gonna do a thing. And then Zelda's like, I just don't know if I can use my powers yet.
I know, she's
and it's
so
just the
angsty.
whole thing is just,
She's so
I don't know if I
angsty,
can
but
use
I
my
love
powers.
it.
Yeah.
I love the cutscenes. I lived for them.
Oh, okay.
I
did not.
So excited when I found a memory, and I was like,
what?
yes!
I hope I'm more like Sarah in this case.
Yeah.
I hope I just love the cutscenes.
Yeah, I hope you do too. I didn't like it. It was to the point where I was on a call with my brother-in-law playing Marvel Snap online, right? And Sarah was playing Breath of the Wild, and she saw a memory spot, which is basically just like something that shows you a cutscene. And I had Sarah kind of like turn the TV down a little bit, and so that we could, cohabitate, like live together and be like,
You were also home.
I was also home.
Yeah.
And she was like, she found the memory. She was like, shut up. Can you turn on the TV? And I like turned up the TV, and she's like, can you actually go into the other room?
Yeah.
And I went into the other room, and then I heard it blaring in here, talking about how, something about Mifa or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I come back out, and I'm like, can I turn it down? She's like, yeah, you can turn it down. Sorry, I really wanted it.
I get it, man. You're loud, dude.
I am loud.
That is true.
I am loud.
No, but like I will forever, and I know a lot of people might disagree with me. I don't understand why, but this game is a cinematic experience.
It is.
Like straight up, like adventure-wise, just like without argument.
It's gorgeous.
It
dude.
is. Like
It's
it literally
gorgeous.
it's literally just a artwork everywhere.
Yeah.
But also the story makes it cinematically beautiful.
Yeah. There's just so little story.
It's so cute.
It is.
Like it is so cute.
It's very-
and it makes me cry.
Yeah. It's very like classic anime tropes.
I've always said that this game should have been an anime too. I've always said
And
that.
Sarah doesn't even like anime.
I would watch that anime so hard.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't do that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they made a manga series, but it's pretty short.
Yeah.
Anyway, so people complain about how kind of like dry the story is. And there's this thing that I want to kind of warn you about in case you want to take action on it.
Okay.
Where if you defeat all 4 of the divine beasts, when you go to Ganon, something happens to where the fight starts out with him at half his HP.
Okay.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah. No, I do.
it makes the final boss like so easy.
I don't remember
Like
the final boss
brain
being
dead
easy.
easy. Well, he's pretty easy.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
because I'm not a combat.
And it was pretty disappointing for a lot of people that really, like the combat of the game.
But there are several different parts to the final boss.
Like a lot of us,
if you spend a ton of time building up to that, I get it.
some of us had the idea of like, I feel like we spent all this time, it should be harder.
Yeah.
Because like when you beat Ganon, the game, it's kind of like, it's actually just like pretty much any other Zelda game. your save file reverts to right before you defeat Ganon. And so it's like nothing happened. Because, what are you going to do? Play the game without the big threat?
That's one of my complaints with the game. Is like, not the fight itself I was fine with, obviously, for obvious reasons. But afterwards, you beat Ganon. I was expecting this, like, you know, bring in the freaking, I don't know, the parade.
Yeah,
like, let's celebrate. Everything's
That would
different.
be cool if it was like the world changes, but the game isn't over.
Yeah, exactly. I was hoping it would be that sort of outcome. Like, I've saved the world. What now?
Yeah, what next?
But it does take you right before you beat Ganon, and everything is the same. I was like,
and then your save just has a little star next to it. So it's like, hey, you beat it. Good job.
Great. I think I like spent days complaining about that for a while though, because I was like, why is everything the same?
Yeah.
So Sarah's like, for that, it's a 1 out of 5 stars.
Yeah.
That's why I hate this game.
Yeah.
Won't ever play it again.
Yeah. No, but it's something to where it's like, okay, I defeated all these divine beasts, and they're kind of hard. So you're like, I defeated all these divine beasts, I beat all the bosses on those divine beasts, and then I built up all this courage to go to Hyrule Castle and defeat Ganon, and then it's like, oh, he has half health. Oh, the game's over now. Oh, and now nothing happened. Oh, okay. Oh, that was a little anticlimactic, you know? Not that the game itself is anticlimactic, but the end game, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, yeah, you defeated all the divine beasts. Your reward is an easier boss. Makes sense on paper, but to everybody or to a lot of people that experienced it, they complain a lot.
Yeah.
So that's something that I wanted to let you know, because what you can do is you can not go to the divine beasts and just head straight for Ganon and get like the hard mode version of the boss if you want to. Just letting you know. I don't know if I would necessarily recommend it.
Yeah.
Maybe for a second time through the game, if you ever do that.
Yeah.
But
we've
like,
talked about this actually.
because you should probably just go to the divine beast and just have a good time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it plays into the fact that the objective of the game on paper is save the divine beast, save Hyrule, beat Ganon.
Yeah.
But like the actual objective of the game is to adventure.
Yeah.
Like,
there's like 8 points to the main quest and like 100 side quests. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's just like
quests too, which is like kind of
not all of them are shrine quests. There's side quests and shrine quests.
I know, that's what I said.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, so it's kind of like, to me, the divine beast struggle and fighting Ganon was just like, yeah, that's just making me so I keep playing the game. Right? It's like, that's the thing that's like the ultimate culmination of, there's got to be conflict.
I'm really driven. Another reason why I like the story is because I'm really driven by story-based games. Like, I try to get emotionally invested in the game just because that makes it that much more enjoyable for me. So I really, really loved following the story aspect of it and just taking in every detail of it, because I was already enjoying the game as it is, and the storyline was like the cherry on top. I was like, yes, give me a cutscene.
And Holden was just being a bummer about it.
Literally, like,
no, that's
like
not
he's been for
necessarily
the
true.
past what is it, 6 years?
Yeah, this game came out actually,
That's
I think
crazy.
7 years ago.
7 years ago? We're in 2023.
Yeah, but
It came out in 2017.
Yeah, so I guess it is 6 years ago, which is still such a long time.
That
And
is a long time.
I've played this game, not to completion, but I've like sat down, started a file, played it for a month or two, like 4 times. And something I want to mention, I know that you're probably not going to be able to dig too deep into this, because I'm lending you this game, and you're going to play it.
Pause real quick. You also have a copyright, Sarah.
I have a digital copy.
So I'm not going to be preventing you from playing.
No.
Okay.
I made sure with Holden about that too before
that was a fear of mine.
No, so you're going to be able to play through the game, okay? If you beat the game, you can then play through it again on Master Mode. Everything deals double damage.
Oh, yeah.
Your weapons break a lot faster.
Okay.
There's tons more enemies.
Okay.
It's just like hard mode.
But you have to beat it to unlock that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another thing that we should talk about with...
I've never done Master Mode.
Yeah, I've done it like 2 times, and it's really fun. But there are... I don't actually know. Like, should we talk about the monsters? Because like we're kind of wrapping up at this point.
I guess. I mean, like, it's based on what you want to know.
Yeah,
like,
are
what
you
questions
curious about the
have.
monsters in the game?
I am, yeah, but
Do you kind of want to figure it out on your own?
yeah, kind of
Yeah.
want to be surprised by them.
Good.
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions about this game?
Oh, I did just a minute ago, man.
Oh, dang it.
Classic. Justin.
That's like on brand
Yeah,
to the
man.
max.
Seriously. I don't know, dude. I'm just excited, man.
Okay. So
I've put, if this tells you anything at all, I don't know how much people game on the regular, but my first run through of this game, I put almost 400 hours into.
Okay.
So if that tells you anything at all of how much you can do,
It does.
it's so much.
Because you're on your 4th.
no.
I'm on my second playthrough of this game.
So she played through it and then she waited like 4 years.
The last time I played this game was probably like when I finished it the first time, which was like 2018.
Okay.
So starting it up again was
Oh, that's awesome.
heavenly.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's played it like a lot.
400 hours. Yeah. I mean,
You probably won't be able to put 400 hours into it because once Tears of the Kingdom comes out, we're getting
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Although I think that you should get far enough in Breath of the Wild before
I'm
you
gonna
start.
try to get as far as I can before Tears of the Kingdom comes out.
Like even if it comes out and you haven't finished it, I think it's worth playing Breath of the Wild to the end until you start with Tears of the Kingdom. But
yeah,
you know,
Oh, yeah.
you play it however you want.
It sounds like I should be able to beat the game before Tears of the Kingdom comes out, even if I don't necessarily have so much of it completed, like explored and everything.
If it makes sense, you could technically just follow the main storyline, like just to the T.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, just have the world to
Oh
explore.
yeah. That you'd be able to get through that easy.
Yeah.
Before
I don't know if I'm gonna do that.
for me.
Yeah, you don't have to.
You
do
and
that.
I were talking about this with a coworker. I think it was Spencer,
Okay.
which I need to call him out by name
Yeah.
because we called him out in the Halo episode.
Very casually.
Yes, he's a big Halo guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't even know if Spencer knew who Dr. Halsey was.
Yeah,
before
yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
played. He was very offended by that.
Really? Why?
Oh yeah, he was like, wait, you didn't know who Dr. Halsey
Oh,
was?
wow.
She's like the doctor apparently, but I'm like, dude, she was never in any other Halo game. And he's like,
Yeah.
I know, but come on, dude, you call yourself a Halo fan?
Oh,
And
wow.
I was like, all right,
Spencer
buddy.
called you out.
Dude,
man.
I called him out for gatekeeping because I was
Yeah.
like, sorry, I didn't read the books.
Yeah. I didn't watch the 15-minute short film.
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were talking with him, and you were like, I would almost recommend to someone just go straight to Ganondorf,
Mhm.
just so you can experience it, and it's not like a potential letdown in the future.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe I'll do that, but I don't know if I will. I still kind of want to, because when you explained the plot line, I was like, oh, I don't know if you can until you beat the Divine Beasts
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you can do that without those,
Yeah.
then maybe I will, just because.
The thing is, you have, let's see, so it's February 21st right now. So you
Okay.
have February, March, April, May. You have like a solid 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good amount of time with the game.
Yeah.
Like,
And I like the anticipation of it. Like I like just how daunting it feels not to do it.
yeah.
So, but again, that's because I'm not an experienced seasoned game
Well, maybe that's better.
game player.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Anything else that anybody wants to add?
Did you find any reviews for it?
No.
That's all right, dude. We'll revisit this game for sure.
For sure.
Okay.
yeah, I
No?
just love Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild super fan here, so I'm really, really excited for Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah,
oh my
that's
god!
going to be
Are
incredible.
you a super fan of Breath of the Wild, Holden? Would you say? You don't love it as much as Sarah, but do you love it?
Oh, dude. It's even hard. Like, it's hard for me to accept the fact that it's probably true that I don't love it as much as Sarah does.
It is. This
But-
is like my favorite game.
Yeah, I know.
dude.
I mean, Link's Awakening is like my favorite Zelda game,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it's completely different. So I can't say. I'm a super fan. This game is like I think it's the reason why I broke out and like actually started playing like other video games.
Okay.
Because it's like the
That's
first
true.
open world like game. It's
Like
the first game I
besides
really
Monster Hunter, Breath of the Wild was like one of the games that
Wow.
you really
That's
dived
crazy.
into.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
And it's a good one to start on. I'm so excited for you, man.
Yeah, I mean,
let me
like,
ask you this:
Mhm.
worth the retail price?
Worth 60?
absolutely,
Yeah,
100%.
And you guys bought it twice.
Yeah, we bought
I
it twice.
literally want to get the collector's edition of Tears of the Kingdom, and I haven't even played it.
I'm pretty sure it's
I
sold
hope
out.
you do.
I'm pretty sure
Really?
it's sold out, yeah. But
No,
we'll see.
Come on, don't say that to your wife.
Sorry.
I think
Yeah.
we had that discussion last night. But
It went great.
Oh yeah, it sounds like it went just dandy.
Yeah, Dandy's candy.
I mean, like, for anybody listening out there, if you're a non-gamer like myself, but you like video games passively, Breath of the Wild, I think, is the perfect game
Yeah.
to start with.
Yeah.
Because it's, like, just challenging enough that, like, you'll be invested in
Yeah.
it completely, and it's not easy in any
Yeah.
sense, so you're not going to get bored.
Yeah.
You will absolutely never 100%
And you can
never
kind of
get
make
bored.
it what you want it to be.
Yeah.
You can just walk around and just have a good time.
It's
You don't
a
have
beautiful
to fight
game.
the bad guys. You can run right past them.
Mhm.
You can just do what you want to do. And it's awesome.
Yes.
I want so bad. You didn't bring your Switch, did you?
No,
Oh, I want so
I
badly
should
to
have, huh?
watch you play it
Yeah.
for the first
I
time.
know.
too
That's
bad,
fine.
buddy, because I might play tonight.
Oh, you better. It's not even that late.
Oh my gosh, it's only 6:30.
I know,
Oh,
dude.
I'm playing tonight.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
And you have to talk to me about it.
Oh yeah. What was I gonna say, dude? Oh, one thing I just realized,
Mm-hmm.
like games that are beautiful to look at
Mhm.
are kind of new
Yeah.
to the world,
Yeah.
Oh, like
and this
like,
one sounds
in-
like it's beautiful to look
It's
at.
so beautiful, dude.
like in a modern sense, you mean?
Yeah, because like games in general are new to the human, not games,
Right.
but like video games
Yeah.
are new to like humans,
Yeah.
right? And they were not beautiful for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
very utilitarian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like I think this like no pun intended, I think this game really was like a game changer.
For sure.
Like it like a cultural reset, if you will.
And honestly, there's so many games that came out after Breath of the Wild that everyone was like, another Breath of the Wild clone. Like everyone's just
Really?
trying to be
like
Breath
everybody,
of the Wild.
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
literally. Like I'm not like totally well versed in this, but in just my observations, I know like when Breath of the Wild came out,
Everything
so
changed.
many developers were like, we want to do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
They were like, I feel like it kind of like set everyone
Well, that's
back.
the
They were
same
like,
thing that happened
"Whoa."
with Halo.
Yeah,
After
definitely.
Halo, it was like there were Halo copies and Halo killers and stuff like
yeah,
that.
definitely.
Wow.
But yeah, I still think that not many games hold a candle to Breath of the Wild. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta end this because I want to
Yeah.
play, dude.
So, Kibo, take us out.
Hey, free game, talking gaming day and night. This the show that you've been missing, guaranteed to get you hyped. Up, down, left, start, better charge up your controller. The show is taking over with Justin and with Holden. Hey, phase 10, Halo Reach, Magic the Gathering. Plenty games we talking, cause that's what we got a passion in. Hey, restart, run it back, let's play like we in the arcade. Homie, this is free game, let's go.